Hello everyone, and welcome back to more Silent Hill 3 and the Mall from Hell. Or, well, the Mall from Silent Hill. Close enough! Let's go through the store. There will be doggies in here. Fortunately, they will be chewing on something, so Heather can run right by. Everything is really dark right now, but we will be getting a remedy to that here in a little bit. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Stay away! Don't want you. Jerk. I hate those things so much. So if we come in here, there's a notice you can read. In the future, I'm going to try to summarize most of the files we come across, but I don't think that one serves a purpose, so I'm not worried about it. Turn off that light, and that highlights that there's a flashlight. Huzzah. And now, I want to run up their electric bill. So we're turning that back on. There are also items in here, so definitely want to pick that up. I believe our first med kit is in here as well, which is pretty sweet. And I'm going to show that off. It's very exciting. As if we haven't played many games with medkits. Onward! And just through this door. I had to replay everything up till this point on my PS2. Pick that up, that's going to be useful for a puzzle, and it is not on easy puzzle difficulty. I remember in my original playthrough being quite annoyed with that. But at least on this re-record, I can show that off. As well as the flashlight. But there's something I'm going to show off that you only get with a completed Silent Hill 2 save file on your memory card. And when I played Silent Hill 2 earlier this year, last year for you guys, and we can check this out. I did the PC version, so on this emulator I don't have that. Ew. Well. So I replayed everything on my PS2 just so I could show this off. It's a nice little Easter egg.
Forget it. This is way too gross. Who would even think of doing something so disgusting?
James Sunderland, that's who. Although to be fair, he was in a life and death situation and he did get a lot of valuable items out of that. And here are some unlockables I got on my PS2 version. I got this for completing my original playthrough, the unlimited ammo machine gun. And there it is in use. And you can also unlock a lightsaber, which I mentioned last video. You get that at the end of that hallway with that first save point. So Heather can be a Jedi if you want her to be. Don't mess with the Jedi! Unfortunately, in this playthrough, she is not a Jedi, which is okay, because Heather is awesome enough as it is. I had an issue with this emulator. You didn't see it there because I must have had no weapon equipped, is the only thing I can think of. And I think this must be an easy... The hell was that? An easy action difficulty function, which again makes the game harder. Whenever I'm trying to run towards a door, she'll want to auto-target an enemy even when I don't have a weapon readied. I ran into that problem multiple times while playing this. There are a couple of items we need in here. The coat hanger, the first of a few random items we will pick up in this video, as well as soon as I find it, the bulletproof vest. That bulletproof vest will reduce the amount of damage you take from enemies, which sounds very nice. I don't know by how much. However, unfortunately, it does slow you down a lot, and Heather is not exactly a speed demon when it comes to running. I get the feeling when it comes to driving, she probably is. But in terms of running, not so much. Just look at her. She seems like the type that would speed while driving. She is a teenager after all. I think she's technically 17 in this game. She just looks like trouble, and like she has a father that probably lets her do whatever she wants because he has guilt for losing a daughter earlier on in life. But hey, that's just a guess on my part. I was doing a test play of this area, and it took me forever to find this next door because I swear it did not show up on the map. Yeah, you just stay over there. You go hang out with your friend. I'm going in here. Don't watch it. And I love in that cutscene where she's asking who would do something like that, the overly judgmental look she gets when she looks at the screen when she says that is hilarious. On my original playthrough, I busted out laughing when I saw that because that was the first time I could remember ever seeing that. I don't know if I got that on my original playthrough, which would have been back in 2004. They made that way too overly dramatic. And once you climb up on that ladder, you do have to actually hit up. So you have to actually climb up and down ladders in this game, which is not my favorite design choice. Let's check this out. That was very faint. Probably would have been nice if I had subtitles on for that, but we heard a familiar voice say, "Daddy." It was Cheryl from Silent Hill 1, which is interesting. And now I'm looking for the save point. Sadly, that's not the only ladder we will be coming across. Something else interesting, I was looking at my memory card on my PS2. Oh, God. Shoot a few times and then move. Don't stay in one spot with these guys. They can be annoying and they can surround you. And on normal or hard mode, I'm sure there are a lot more enemies in there. Which I should have played this on normal action difficulty, but oh well. Next time I play it, I can do it on that playthrough. Whatever. I ain't here to show it off. Give me items. I believe that's a health drink and bullets, if I'm not mistaken. Which we will need. I will use almost every bullet I have. I spoiled one of the weapons we are going to get, which is a machine gun. Unfortunately not infinite ammo. Although I do unlock that with the completion of this playthrough. We will use up pretty much every bit of ammo for that gun, all in one fight. So don't expect a whole lot of use out of that gun. But I'll talk more about that gun once we get it. And that is a walnut. Seems like a really random item. Just like the coat hanger. Yeah, I don't want to go out in that hallway with the monsters all go around. It's safer that way. Plus, there's a save point, even though I have save states. So come up here and get through that door really quickly before anything can spot you. So much like the radio, the flashlight obviously helps you see as opposed to the radio, which helps you detect monsters. But it will also attract enemies, just like the radio. Fantastic. And we got a key. So anyways, I was looking at my save file on my PS2. My original completion of this game was at 6 in the morning in, I think, 2004. I want to say April, but I could be wrong. And we got some nice items there. That seems really odd that I completed that game at 6 in the morning. I don't know what I would have been doing awake at 6. Granted, I was in college and didn't have anything else to do, but still. And it was probably on a weekend. Although I did a pretty good job at trying to eliminate the amount of days I had to actually go to school per week. If I could do Tuesday, Thursday, that's what I did. Although, as I went further, I was less and less able to do that. You know, you've got a bad attitude. I don't like you. However, we should get something nice in here. Items. Always nice. And we got our steel pipe, or as Cass calls it, pipe of justice. That's a reference to a YouTuber that I occasionally watch, who was recommended to me by another YouTuber I watched, Deranged Band. Both good channels, both listed on the homepage of my channel amongst my favorite channels. Oh god, I remember this music. Nostalgia! Creepy nostalgia, but nostalgia nonetheless. Alright, what's in here? Hopefully good things. A camera angle, which tells me that there's something here. And I believe that's disinfectant. We will need that for a puzzle later. I haven't mentioned it to this point in the playthrough, but I am visually impaired, blind, whatever you want to call it. That causes me issues when reading files or names of items I pick up. I must have gotten on to a really long session of playing this game and realized I was so close to the end that I might as well finish it. That's the only thing I can think of. Otherwise, I don't know what the hell I was doing awake at 6 in the morning. I'm much older now, and me being awake at 6 in the morning is for a completely different reason now. But I'm not going to worry about hell right now because I've got more Silent Hill to deal with. And I'd much rather play Silent Hill than go to work. I sense I would rather actually go to Silent Hill than go to work. So here we need to combine this and this. The disinfectant and the bleach. Be sure to turn that fan off because otherwise it causes problems. As you could see, Heather did not like the fumes from that. Now you turn the fan back on. That should hopefully kill a group of bugs that are blocking the area. I didn't show it, but they're there. part of my wanting to just get to the point rather than pretend like I don't know what I'm doing. Huh. I will say this game still has good sound design. I do have my issues with it, which I will talk about later, but the sound design is really good. And this opening area is pretty good too. It doesn't look remotely like a mall would be set up, but given the nature of the series, it still works. It's a good opening area. Probably the only area in the game I actually like. But we'll save that negativity for later because we got to run! Oh jeez. Those things. These weird bug things that make that loud, annoying sound. I'm trying to run from as many enemies as possible simply because stopping to fight them takes up time. I know this is not a speedrun or anything, but I do intend for this to be some kind of a walkthrough, which means I try to show as best I can how to get where you need to go without too much extra effort. And if you're playing this on a New Game Plus, you do have to kind of watch how many enemies you kill if you want the good ending. And that's what you use the walnut on, and you get this item here. Huzzah. It's some kind of vice, much like a nutcracker. And now I'm trying to find the save point in here. I know I've got save states, but again, I want to show off Heather's thoughts on that symbol. Oh, God. Ah, even more of them! That's a truly horrible sound they make. Which I know is what they're going for. The horror in this game compared to 1 and 2 is a lot more upfront. I kind of feel like the developers designed this game to be a little more action-oriented, just based on the amount of enemies that are in this game compared to the first two. At least it feels like there's a lot more enemies. That would happen in later games in the series that I don't really count. But it does seem a little bit like they were trying that with this one. Not too much, as you can avoid enemies for the most part, especially early on. And I do recommend avoiding enemies early on. 1, if you're on a New Game Plus and going for the good ending, but 2, just to save on supplies. Because if you fight them with a melee weapon, you're probably going to take damage. Although there is a block option. But you can't just hold the block down and keep her blocking. It's kind of a quick move, I guess you could say. It seems like blocking is a timing-based move in this game. So avoiding fighting as much as I do in the early stages of this game helps me a lot. Oh god. Yeah, game, I don't care. Something's trying to eat me and I really would like to just get through the door. Thank you. Dick. More cool background ambience. And fortunately the camera will change to show where you need to go. That is one thing I like about these old Silent Hill games. They have the occasional fixed camera look to them. But it's done to show where you need to go. And remember to climb down because she can't do that herself. And let's see what's down here. I'm sure it'll be nothing but good things. We were in a giant circle overlooking a pit. You had to know that this was arena-like, and that anything arena-like would lead to a boss. It's actually one of the few we get in this game, from what I remember. At the moment, I can think of 4 bosses. Come on, dude. I don't know if this is an easy combat difficulty thing where he just comes from the same hidey hole. That was easy.
What? It's the shopping mall just like before. Am I back?
Well, it's very quiet considering all the monsters and everything. But we won't worry about that. I need a save point. Even though clearly I have save states. I am surprised at how quickly that boss went down. I probably should have played this on normal action difficulty, but it will help with the last 2 bosses, which take forever to kill. So we could go where the game wants us to go, or we could go in here. So that's what I'm going to do. But yeah, you would think somebody would have something to say about all those monsters. Unless we're not in the real world. Med kit. And there's some items. I thought there was another item over there, but I could be wrong. I couldn't find it if there was. And I mentioned it last video, but there's a new item to the Silent Hill series. The beef jerky. I believe this is going to be our first pickup of it, unless I wasn't paying attention and we picked one up earlier. Which we might have, I can't remember. As far as I can tell, this is the diner Heather woke up in at the start of the game after having that nightmare. And there's me showing it off, which means this probably was the first one I picked up. And I'm going to try to show off... I think it was right here that she was sitting in that cutscene. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure this is that diner. Which is a cool attention to detail, letting you go to that area. Either way though, I'm going to save my game and end the video, so thank you very much for watching, and I will see y'all next time with more Silent Hill 3.